Hello and welcome to FYI Live. I am your host, Carlos, with FYI Technologies. And I have a very special guest with me today that I'm going to introduce here shortly. So, if you are just wrapping up dinner, grab your favorite beverage because you're going to learn a little bit about what this gentleman is all about. I've had him on the show before. One of the questions that I posted today and why he's here is: are you planning to start a new business in 2023? Or do you have a business plan? I mean, today is all about learning about how you can help your business take off the ground or continue to thrive with it too. And without further ado, I welcome my very dear friend Gilbert Buchanan from Small Biz Pro. How you doing, brother?
I am doing fine, sir. Thank you, Mr. Garcia. It's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure for me to be on the air with you or participate on any project with you. So thank you for having me, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, folks. Just so you know, Gilbert and I have known each other for quite a while, and every time we're together, we're always causing trouble, right? But in a positive way, for sure.
Good trouble.
Good trouble for sure. Hey man, so tell me how is 2022? What have you seen, man, in the business spectrum?
2022 has been really been good. It's a very prosperous year. I see a lot of good opportunities for small businesses. And as you know, uh, part of my forte is to help small businesses obtain contracts. And I've seen a lot of government agencies let many contracts, agencies like the County of Los Angeles, LA Metro, LA Unified School District, LA Community College District, and even the state of California. So there are opportunities out there for small businesses. Small businesses just need to be aware of it and apply themselves.
One of the things that I've talked to a lot of business folks as well too. We went through, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse, man, but we've talked about enough with COVID. We're out of that already. A lot of businesses, unfortunately, closed. A lot of businesses just barely made it through. But here we are. Closing up 2022. I think it was a very productive year in learning how to pivot, learning how to do things differently, learning how to organize yourself and get together with also like-minded individuals and building that tribe so you're very successful.
Yes.
Um, this also, it's for those of you, like I said earlier, uh, Gil and I go way back, and he is also part of my tribe as well too. This is what we create: this synergy of folks that come together to help build one another and help the business community as well, right?
Yes.
So I want to get into a little bit about your background, man. Talk a little bit about your background before we get into what you actually do.
That could take up the whole show, right?
Well, and I won't say, and folks, let me tell you, he's a man of many talents, music included. I will talk about that later.
So I'll start academically. My background is in organizational development. I've got a master's degree in organizational development. I've got a bachelor's in human services, working with people, and also an associate's degree in communications. So that means I produce videos, I produce commercials, do audio production on all of that. So that's
And he
me in a
does his own
nutshell.
vocals, just so you guys know.
And I do my own vocals too. So there are songs of me on YouTube right now. As a matter of fact, I just sent a link to a buddy of mine on Sunday. And he was shocked. He was going, "What? That's you?" He couldn't
That's what
believe it.
that's what I said too when I heard it.
He couldn't believe it. It's going, "Oh my God, you mean I've been among a superstar all these years and I didn't even know it?" But yeah,
That's
those are the things that I do. And then I started working with government agencies back in New York, 1996, 97, 98. I've done work in Mississippi where I was brought down there to run a career agency because a company called Magnatech laid off about 812 of all of its employees, 812 of them. They relocated to Mexico. So they needed to retrain these workers to get them work. So I was able to, they brought me in as the director of the center. So my job was to retrain these folks, whether they want to become entrepreneurs or whether they want to find jobs. So I was able to set them up. So off the 812, 665 participated in the program, and 335 of those were able to obtain jobs. And
Wow.
about 10 of them started their own business. So, and that happened within a 14 months time frame. So that was just amazing to me. I never thought I never thought all of that would happen, but it did. I did some real guerrilla type marketing and and networking to make this happen. The unemployment rate at the time in Mississippi was 12%. So, I was able,
Wow.
yeah, I was able to do some amazing things, man. Working with Clorox, working with Nissan, working with, there's a company, a poultry company down there called Sanderson Farm. It's kind of like, Tyson Foods. They manufacture chicken and all of that. So we did all of that to help these folks find jobs, and they were pretty happy because many of those folks, they came off the cotton fields. They came out of the cotton fields and they went to work at this manufacturing facility. So they've worked there all their lives. I've spent 20, 30 years, more than that, 50 years, they're working in that manufacturing facility. So they didn't really know any other type of work. So that was one of that. Then I moved to California in 1999, where I worked with the mayor's office, City of Los Angeles. And they had a program there at the mayor's office that was funded by the Department of Commerce, the MBDA, Minority Business Development Agency. And I was able to revamp that program, because before they never certified or got small businesses involved in that. When I got there, man, I just started enrolling small businesses, getting them certified, getting them contract ready, getting them in programs. So that was such a success that the mayor himself gave me an award for the first person to have enrolled and registered so many small businesses in that program. So that was just phenomenal to me. I never even I never knew that was going on, didn't expect it, but it happened. And then over the years, between that time and now, I've secured over $100 million in federal, state, and local contracts for small businesses. About 2,500 small businesses benefited from that. Some of the agencies were LA Unified School District, LA Metro, LA Community College District. Even work with some of the strategic partners like Kiewit Construction Infrastructure. As a matter of fact, I'll be doing a project with them real soon, in early 2023, probably about January or so. But that's what we've been doing for small businesses, man. So I'm very proud, and I love helping small business. I'm a professional helper. I love to help small
Yes, you
business.
are. Yes, you are. And one of the things I think that it's our friendship has grown so much on is too is what I also see from a business perspective is also when folks talk to you or when I talk to you about business, all joking aside, you're always there straight up with people, and that's
Yeah,
one of the things that's also been very valuable to me. And we have such a very strong foundation in that because we're always straight up, and I think
yeah,
that there's a huge lack of that in the
right,
business community, especially those that say, "Oh yeah, I really want to help the small business," or "Yeah, let me see what I can do." At the end of the day, it's really more about what that business is going to do to your pocket versus
right,
the other way around.
exactly.
Yeah, and I think you and I have had these discussions, man. That folks that we kind of give referrals to, for them to talk to you. I'm going to tell you this now, and it's live. That, folks that I refer to are always an extension of who I am, and vice
Yeah,
versa. And
yes,
this is also why that I just, it's sad to say, but I have a very core group of individuals. You being at the forefront of that,
thank
because
you.
we worked, for such a long time. I know what you're
Yes,
all about. I know you're
yes,
the real deal. And
Right.
if I give you a client of mine, I know that they're taken care of.
Yes. Yes.
Talk to us about that small business owner, right? Talk to us about your current business. You're
Yes.
the CEO of Small Biz Pro. Talk to us
Yes.
what that's about.
So, Small Biz Pro is a program that I developed 15 years ago when I was working with those agencies that I mentioned before, LA Unified School District, LA Community College, and LA Metro. I realized that they were promoting the fact that they wanted to help small businesses get contract opportunity and gain access to contracts. But when those small businesses came to the table, they would turn them away. They would reject them. They would say, "Oh, you're not ready. You don't have the key documents that's needed for you to participate, on this contract. You don't have your business license. You don't have your contractor's license if they're in the construction trade. You don't have your financials. You don't have your tax return. You don't have a capability statement, or you don't have a statement of qualifications. All of those things they would say they don't have. Oh, by the way, do you have insurance? No, you don't have insurance. So you need to go get insurance. So all of those things are things they would come up with because small businesses couldn't produce those documents on the spot. So the system I created, Small Biz Pro, is one of those. It's a cloud-based platform that allows small businesses to upload these documents in there, and they can use their smartphone to access those documents on the spot in seconds, wherever they are, whether they're in the field, whether they're in Mexico, China, Japan, Canada, Jamaica, wherever they are. They can access those things in seconds, man, 6 to 10 seconds, and they have those documents ready. So that's one of the things we do. That platform also has contract opportunities in it in all 50 United States. It also has grant opportunities in it. So if a small business really want to grow, this is a good way for them to grow. And on top of that, I coach these businesses, so I hold their hands. So yeah, that's really what I've developed to help small businesses to give them an edge over their competitors.
Yeah, and I'm going to also talk about since we're talking about partnerships, you guys have to connect. I put on the scroller there. I put Gil's smallbizpro.net. Make sure that you guys take a copy of that or go to the website and start following Gilbert on there. I know that he's got other shows as well, the things that he comes up with. There's a lot of projects that him and I are going to collaborate online for the business community as well too. And one of the things that I also wanted to talk about, man, because you and I have such a great synergy, it's
Yeah,
that when you're in business, especially if you're starting out, you don't know who's who, right? You don't know who you need to talk to. You
right.
don't know what you need or what you don't need.
Hmm.
And it just seems that it's a very scary road, especially if you're
Yeah,
just starting out.
yeah,
In some cases, like we mentioned, a lot of people lost their businesses and they have to revamp themselves and figure out other ways to generate revenue. And they may not know the proper way of doing it. You
right,
also have, like I said before, you also have those other folks that are just waiting in the sidelines, just ready to take a piece of what their idea is and run with it and just kind of leave them behind.
right, right.
So it's crucial. I'm telling you guys this now is that you surround yourself with like-minded individuals. Do your homework,
Hmm.
man. Not everybody out there is out there to help you succeed. There's those that are the ones that you want to stick to. So I'm going to give you an example, folks. So in the relationship I have with Gilbert too, it's like I said, he's part of my tribe. We have Crystal, who's we're going to bring out in another show as well too, who's we work very close together. And when I have a referral or we have a new business, somebody's talking to me about that, I always refer them to Gilbert. Gilbert's got
Right.
the question, especially if you want to get into government contracts and if you want to get into some of this. There's a lot of things that you need to line up before you can even
Hmm.
get that. A lot of things, a lot of issues too that I've seen come up is that folks don't take advantage of programs that they can
Right.
qualify for. You talked
Right.
about minority programs. You talked about women based businesses as well, right? So there's a lot of
Hmm.
these entrepreneurs that are trying to get started but don't realize, hey, there's resources available for you guys,
Hmm.
and that's what you have shown over the years to a lot
Yes.
of these small businesses, that are getting off the ground. Talk a little
Right.
bit more about some of these folks you come across, man.
So many of the folks I come across, I come across various types of entrepreneur, potential entrepreneur, entrepreneur, meaning people who want to be an entrepreneur but they're not. So we host a stop facility. So if you don't know how to start a business, we walk you guys through the process. We show you step by step what to do. If you're in an existing business, and let's say you're 0 to 3 years old, because that's usually a startup business, 0 to 3 years old. We make sure we check to make sure your business ready. So a lot of people start businesses and they're not sure if they're ready or not. So they go, oh, I got a business, so I'm good to go. No, we have an assessment tool on the platform Small Biz Pro that you can do an assessment, and that assessment will let you know whether you're business ready or not. There are certain documents you need to have in order to be business ready. So let's say you're a sole proprietorship and you're starting out, then you need to have your business license. You want to have insurance. A lot of people, believe it or not, they don't think they need insurance, and you do,
Yeah.
because we're operating in a litigious state, California. Everybody wants to sue you. Everybody wants to sue you for something. So you always want to be ready. Not that they're going to sue you or that you're going to sue anybody, but you want to be ready just in case. Usually, the individual or the litigant that has the more supporting documents and evidence, they're usually the ones who win a case in court. So and what we try to do is tell you to run your business as if you're going to be sued next week. So if you're going to get sued next week, you have all your evidence in place. You can access them anytime, anywhere. You got your business license, your insurance. You've got your operating agreement if you're an LLC. If you're a corporation, you got your articles of incorporation, statement of information, your bylaws, your meeting minutes, all of those things. So those are things I walked you guys through. My team and I walk you guys through to make sure you have those. So when you do an assessment, you answer a few questions, and then after you answer those questions, the tool, the Small Biz Pro tool, it gives you a score. And based on that score, it tells you if you're ready or not. If you're not scoring 100%, you're not ready. If you're at 100%, you are ready. And believe it or not, a lot of businesses who have been in business for many years, they're still not ready, Carlos. They're still
Yeah.
not ready. Very few companies have scored 100%. Very few. And then once I walk them through and show them where they were deficient, then they say, oh, I've seen that document before. If you haven't seen a document within the last 60 days in your business, then it doesn't exist. You got to
Right.
go get it. You got
Yeah.
to get it, man.
That's
So
very
yeah.
true. One of the things that I wanted to ask you too is that when you look back, man, at all the folks you have helped over the years, I always take a couple of stories, and I always think of a couple of individuals or even businesses that really made an impact for you to make you want to help them even further. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Uh,
Yes.
we always have we've all had those clients, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just you just want to protect them because there's you don't want them just on their own, getting picked on or taken advantage of for this and that.
Right. Right.
Think back, man. In the last few years, it might be even recent that a story like that kind of resonates with you or still sticks with you.
So there's quite a few. The first one I want to speak about is this gentleman. He's from um, he's from Vietnam, and he came to the U.S. back in 2000, I believe, 2000, and didn't really know anyone here. He lived in the valley. He didn't know anyone here, but he wanted to start a business. So he wanted to get in the construction trade. Didn't really know how to go about it. So he came to our facility. At the time, I was running the procurement department over at Valley Economic Development Center in Van Nuys. So he came by and he said, oh, I really want to start this business. Don't really know what to do. So I said, not a problem. Let's sit down. So I went over a checklist of items that he need as a contractor, help him to get his contractor's license with the state of California, and then get him set up his business license, his insurance, all of those things. And then 2 years after that, he wanted to apply for well, let me step back a bit. Prior to that, he needed a contract. So I said, what I can do, I can help you to get a small contract, which is a small painting contract. So at the time, VEDC was getting ready to paint their building, their facility. So I brought him in as the contractor of choice to do the painting for the whole facility. Never seen his work before, never and nothing at all, man. But I believed in him, the things he tell me, the history that he portrayed to me. And then we gave him the contract. Man, he did an amazing job, man. An amazing. He painted the whole facility. It was a few. I think it was a $50,000 contract. So he painted the whole facility, man. They loved him. He was excited about that. So right after that, I helped him to apply for his SBA 8A certification. And for those of you who don't know what an SBA 8A certification is, it's a certification with the SBA. SBA has 4 certifications. The 8A is one of them. It's an economic development certification where if your revenue, well, your assets, if your net worth is right now is less than $750,000, then and you've been in business for at least 2 years, you're classified as a minority or economically disadvantaged individual, then you qualify for that certification. So again, he's from Vietnam. So Asians were considered one of the disadvantaged groups. So there are several groups. You got Black African American, you got Latino Hispanics, you got Asians. You have 2 types of Asians. You've got the Asian Pacific Islander, right? And those would be folks like Vietnam, Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, and the prominent, the more successful Asian groups. And then you have the subcontinental, which would be India, Vietnam, the poorer countries, right? And then you've got anyone who was born in the hood or operate in the hood, low educational level. They got turned down for credit multiple times, got low credit scores. Those are people who were considered economically disadvantaged. So those were the ones that we worked with to get those certifications. So he fell into that group because he's from Vietnam. So that's how I was able to help him get his certification, man. He was so grateful because now he can bid on billions of dollars, right? There are 4 federal agencies out there that hires or provide contract opportunities to small businesses. The federal government has over $500 billion in contract opportunities for these groups, for Black, African American, Hispanic, Latino, Asians, Pacific Islander, subcontinental, Asians, and it's just amazing. So I was able to navigate with him and show him how he can get opportunities. Man, before you know it, Carlos, he was getting contracts with Port Miami. He was getting contracts with the military facilities in San Diego, all of these different places, man. I was just so proud of him. And before I know it, he built a facility up in the valley, man. A big facility where he's leasing it out. He owns one part of it, right? And he did all of that through the SBA, right? So he owns one part, and then the other part, 49% of it, the SBA said he can lease out. He leased that out. He's making all this revenue, man, on this big old building there in the valley, all because of that certification that he got. So it was just amazing. So that's one of my proudest moments. And if you look at one of my promo videos, I think it's either Small Biz Pro or Buchanan and Associate. You'll see him in there. You say, yeah, I met Gilbert, many years ago, and he knows everything about certification. So it was just amazing, man.
You know what's cool? It's my takeaway from that story, man, is what you started with.
Yeah.
And it was really about the fact that you believed in him, right?
Yes.
When you when you're first starting out in business, whether you're actually getting a 9 to 5 job or launching your own business, we tend to hit that wall pretty hard
Yeah.
when people don't really have that belief.
Right.
People
Right.
expect you to fail right out of the gate.
Right.
People expect you not to succeed, and I think it's also goes back to where once you're able to overcome that and become a great leader, you
Yes.
always have to remember where you started, who helped you get there, and always
Yes.
pay it forward as a leader.
Yes. Yes.
In that it's huge, man. When you tell somebody that
Yes.
I believe in you. Whether
Right.
I mean, let's even take it down to the level of your kids, your own kids.
Yes.
Those are very powerful words. Let alone saying that to an adult.
Yes.
It's let's face it, man.
Right.
It's the world out there. It's eat or be eaten, right? But when you again, I will go back to saying this: when you build your tribe, when you build
Yeah.
your group, they're there to lift you up, and that's a great way to start that, man.
And
For
the amazing thing about that, man, when I told him I believed in him and I looked in his face, man, I can see that look in his face like, really? You do believe in me? He had that look on his face. And then when I got him that first contract to paint that facility for VDC, he was, oh man, he was just in awe. He's going, oh my God, really? You made this happen for me? Because I really didn't know him. He
right,
just came to the facility and he was just telling me, hey man, I'm here from Vietnam. I'm looking for opportunities in the construction trade. I don't know where to go. Can you help me? And he was telling me that he has, I think he had 2 or 3 kids and a wife. So I said, don't worry about it, man. It was a long journey, but we got there. You see what I'm saying? Because
right,
I had to do a narrative for him for the SBA 8A certification. You had to tell a story. How did he get here? So
right.
I wrote a narrative for him that explained his journey from Vietnam to the United States and all. Oh man, it was just amazing.
Man, at some point, I think we should have him on the show, dude. I would love to hear him
Yes,
share
yes.
his story, man, for
I
sure.
I think we should. His name is Long Win. Long Win, and his company is called IPI Corporation. IPI, and he's up there in the valley, man. I'm trying to remember the street, but yeah, I'll get you the information, man. He
Yeah,
has
well,
been amazing.
we'll definitely have to bring him on that.
Yeah.
So, folks, I have Gil's information there scrolling on Small Biz Pro. Please make sure you guys visit his website. We're coming to the end of the show, and I want to thank you guys for joining us today. This isn't the last show that we're going to ever do. We've got some more things in the works as well that's going to be related to business opportunities. And if you haven't followed me yet, follow me at FYItechnologies.net. We are once like Gilbert, we're a one-stop solution for all your technical needs, everything from uh, you know, internet services, phone systems, to desktop support, marketing, social media, and obviously we do a lot of live streams as well too. And this is another reason why we have such a great professional relationship, Gilbert and I, in helping with referrals, helping connect other folks with other folks as well who may need our assistance in all of that. Hey man, any last parting words before we go?
Well, I do have a link that I'd like to send these folks, the viewers of the show, to have them check and see if they're contract ready or not. And this would be a great place for them to do a quick assessment on their business to see how contract ready they are. So, is there some place I can paste this link so that
Yeah,
they can?
just put it on the chat on here. It should be on the side screen there, and then I'll post it on there live as well
Okay,
too.
so yeah, I'll put it in a private chat. So I'll just say, take your assessment here. Yeah, this is going to be great, man. They are going to love it because now they're going to be able to do an assessment on their business to see how ready they are. This is contract readiness. So they'll see if they're ready for government contract. And also, from what I hear, Carlos, from the experts in the marketplace, they're saying the second quarter of next year is going to be a recession. It's going to be tough on the economy. So when there's recessions, and there's bad things happening to the economy, the only place you can get business opportunity is to get government contracts, whether it's the state, federal, or local contracts. So doing this assessment will let you know how ready you are for those contracts, guys. And you reach out to me. Do you want to put my contact number in there, Carlos, so that they can
Yeah,
reach out to me? I'll
absolutely.
just put my phone number in there. So this is my phone number, guys. I'm putting my cell phone in here, and I'm only doing that because you guys are Carlos's viewers, and I really want to help you guys. So just go ahead, and that's my phone number. Hold on, let me change that thing right there real quickly. Yeah, that's my phone number, guys. And give me a call if you have any questions. But first, take the assessment. Do that contract readiness assessment first.
Yeah, and I think again, it's important, folks, that as you are joining us, watch the beginning of the show so you can hear a little bit more about Gilbert's background as well too. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us, reach out to him directly. His phone number is on the screen currently on there, so make sure you guys write it down. Give him a call, start that assessment. And again, like I said, we started the show with talking about are you planning to start a new business in 2023, or do you want to continue to have your business to thrive? And these are, like you said, a lot of questions that we don't know, a lot of things that we could be taking advantage of as far as resources. But again, nobody
Yeah,
ever told anybody that.
that's right. That's right.
So, hey, I want to thank you for your time, man. It's always a pleasure. I look forward to our next connection. Do you want to plug in
Yes.
the Friday show as well with you and Crystal?
Oh, yes. I have a podcast that goes on every Friday with me and my co host. It's called The Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. It's every Friday from 3 to 4:30. So you guys can go to YouTube, go to Facebook or LinkedIn, and you'll see it at 3 o'clock sharp every Friday. Now, this Friday, the show is not going to be on. We're just going to run a recording because of the Thanksgiving holiday and all of that. And plus, my co host is in South Africa right now. She's attending some event down there. But the following Friday, which is, I think it's December 2nd or something to that effect, we'll be on live. And Carlos is always our ongoing guest on the show. He gets to come on and speak about
I
his
get to
business.
harass him every so often Fridays for sure.
So thank you, Carlos. I really appreciate you having me here today, man. This is great. I hope I'm able to help at least one entrepreneur or one small business out there with the information I provided today.
Absolutely, folks. And again, thank you for joining us. To all you guys out there, have a happy Thanksgiving. Gilbert, thanks, man. Have a great Thanksgiving. I am very grateful for you and your friendship. And
Yes.
folks, always remember that if technology makes you cry, call FYI. Till
That's
next time.
right.